Okay, one of the most important elements on how to design effective YouTube thumbnails is by using a photo of your face. Unlike TV, which is like a shotgun blast of information to 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people at once, YouTube is more personal. It's a one-to-one experience. And so when you're using your face, you're sort of selling your personality. And if they've seen you before, they will definitely click you again when they recognize you out there in the search. Another good idea is to grab a still from your actual video. That way, when they see the thumbnail and they watch your video, it ties in. They realize that yes, it was from your actual video, which is kind of cool. Statistically, when you show a photo showing the whites of your eyes, you get a higher click-through rate. I know it's crazy, but it's true. Also, don't be afraid to take some risk. Consider using humor in your photo. A smiling photo typically does better than a frowning. Be positive, open up your face, whites of your eyes. Take a little bit of risk, remain professional, but you have to try to get those clicks. So being funny and taking a little bit of risk is definitely going to help you in regards to CTR. Okay, the next consideration for effective thumbnail design is the proper use of color. You may not initially think it's that important, but using the right color in conjunction with your channel art is absolutely crucial in regards to making a cohesive design for your channel page. So the best way to think of it is your thumbnails have almost a double purpose. One is to have sort of stand out from the crowd using really great color, but it also is to be almost like a little soldier to support your color in your brand. Okay, so when it's viewed on your channel, it supports the overall brand. I want to go over it online and take a look at two creators. They have really been studying online thumbnail tutorials. They know what they're doing. So let's go into YouTube right now and do a search for Turtle Creativity. Okay, here she is. Now you can see right away, if you look at all these thumbnails, okay, there's a couple that stand out and there's several that don't. If you notice the first one here, she's got a yellow color for her font and green. These are very high, punchy colors, almost like the primary colors. And it looks like there's a bit of a drop shadow, and it's on top of a gray background, which is interesting. And I think she's chosen the right colors because the color pops in the thumbnail. Let's go over to the channel real quick and see if she's got it tied in with the channel art. Okay, so the channel art at the top, again, is yellow and green. So if we scroll down, we'll see that wait a minute, whoa. It looks like some of the thumbnails don't have any treatment. You know why? I'll tell you why. This is a 2019 thing with YouTube lately. If you post a video, sometimes there's problems with the thumbnail updating, and I'm going to talk about a workaround for a solution with this thumbnail issue at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, as you scroll down, you can see that when you look at all the thumbnails together, there's a huge brand color concentration with all her thumbnails. It all supports a centralized color harmony of green and yellow. So if it wasn't for these problematic thumbnails at the top here, you would see a very cohesive design. Now if we head over to the Mitten Dad channel, you'll notice right away that his thumbnails also support his brand. As you scroll down, you'll see that he's using a lot of yellow and red, which totally ties in with his channel art. And he's doing something very interesting. He's using
super tip.
He's using yellow. Yellow statistically draws clicks. So if you have the luxury of redesigning your channel art, you want to make a choice on color, lean towards using some yellow in the channel art so that you can use that color in your thumbnails as well to sort of drive more clicks. He's really doing his homework. I think Mitten Dad's really on top of it. He's definitely been studying online thumbnail tutorials, that's for sure. Effective thumbnail design also means that the text message you apply must be 100% literal. Instilling emotion in your text is awesome, but do not pull a topic bait and switch. Selling with lies is a sure way to dirt dive your channel. Don't make your text message complicated. I will explain why it is absolutely crucial to condense your message as much as possible in just a few seconds. Visitors must understand your thumb's message without thinking. Fast and easy readability with the least amount of text is your goal. All right, homie, this is definitely a super tip because,
Super tip.
man, there is really limited space for design on these thumbnails, and I'll explain why. And guess what? Nobody really is talking about this. It has to do with what is shown when you see end screen thumbnails. YouTube is superimposing good old-fashioned white text as the title at the upper top part. I'd say 1/8 of the upper part of the thumbnail, right over top of your graphics, no drop shadow, no nothing, just white text, and it just totally muddles up the design. Check this out. Now this is what you see at the end of my troubleshooting retention video, and as you can see, if you have a long title, oh wait, let's blow this up a little bit. Okay, so now that you can see what's going on here, YouTube is just plopping white text on the top part of the thumbnail, and it just muddles up the design. And if you have a lot of text in the title, it's 2 lines, not just 1, so it's even more space taken up. Plus, you have the total length in time in the lower right-hand corner as well. So if you did a search and you found this video and you're wondering why there was so much space at the top of the thumbnail for this video, it's because I wanted to look correct when the end screen shows that thumbnail on all my other videos. And it looks slightly off, but it's just you have to sort of account for it because the lack of space is just ridiculous. All right, if you're really interested in creating custom thumbnails, choosing the right font is absolutely crucial. So let's talk about font characteristics. At all costs, avoid cursive. They're way too wide. If you modify the kerning, which is the spacing between letters, the whole thing looks funky. The readability for cursive is ridiculous, and it's very hard to squeeze in the text in the available space. Next thing to consider is the width of the characters. If the width is thin or narrow, you're gonna win, okay? Now the third one is the thickness of the line. Personally, my style is a heavy, thick line because I like the way it looks when you see the thumbnail in a small size, okay? It's purely up to you to decide whether or not you want to go with a thick line or not. Thin lines work well, but you have to make sure that the thin line is showing up on a opposite color. So white on black, blue on yellow. You know, you make the right choice. If your color is similar to the background, thin will not work. You will have to apply some other treatments like a shadow or a dark stroke to make it pop from the background. So thin is doable, but I wouldn't recommend it. Narrow, bold, and not cursive. These are the characteristics.
Super tip.
Okay, there is a custom thumbnail issue at YouTube. It started in late 2018 and it has bled over into 2019. The issue is still happening. It is January 5th. I can confirm that the problem still exists today. And what it is if you upload a new video and add your titles and tags and description and hit save, and you forgot to upload that custom thumbnail and you say, oh my gosh, I got to upload my thumbnail after you saved, the thumbnail will not show up in search. And so what ends up happening is if you don't catch it and you let the video ride, you're not going to see that thumbnail pop up for 7 to 10 days, which will adversely affect your click-through rate and your watch time, and that's the parameters that the algorithm is watching to see whether or not you'll get higher rank or not. So my solution for you is to immediately delete the video if you fail to change the thumbnail right away. Delete the video and re-upload it and add all your metas as well. Add your custom thumbnail and you will be fine. This technique cannot be applied to older videos that you failed to catch. If it's been sitting out there and gathering traffic, it would be detrimental to re-upload it in my opinion because the cat's out of the bag. You don't want to disturb the inbound traffic and just let it go. Now, if you're interested in finding out how to troubleshoot your own retention, click this video here. I go into the beta analytics area, take a look at the retention graphs, pull out some insight, and one of the techniques that I learned is how I end my videos. This is how I do it.